welcome back to Downtime Activities, and welcome to the Devils of the West campaign, our Savage Worlds kind of Deadlands campaign. Different story, but that's kind of the feel of it. And when last we left, our Rootin' Tootin' Cowboy Shootin' Cow Pokes, they had just had a friend come back from the dead, or at the very least, join the undead, as Jeffress has become a vampire after a recent encounter.
Let me upgrade my status here to undead. It says dead right now. Now he's undead.
Now he's undeaded.
Here's hoping you never have to update that to redead.
It's just ash.
You'll be mega dead.
Double dead.
Double dead.
We managed to bring him back and he dies.
He dies.
Super dead.
Super dead. The deadest.
The deadest.
So, you have had like a day after that, basically, that you guys have all kind of gone and done different stuff. You went and did a little bit of hunting. Go ahead and give me a survival check.
I can do that.
Yeah,
6 and 8 explode.
Wow.
6 explodes again, so that's a total of 11. This one's at 12. And it'll be at a +2 because it's in the wilderness.
I hope you like your big roll for
That's 18.
You just bring home a water buffalo?
That's a total of 25.
25. You go out hunting, and you only kill one thing. However, the one thing you kill is a elk that has, like, ghost white fur.
I'm cursed as shit.
Quite the trophy.
Them Indians are coming for you now. You done killed the forest god, Ripperino.
He shouldn't have been such a scrub.
You're the bad guy at the beginning of like
Every Disney movie.
Yeah, every Disney movie.
I'm assuming
every like Miyazaki movie.
I'm assuming he brings it back to town.
I assume you.
That's
Skin
what I'm saying.
Much of it as I can pack up.
Little lady. Now, before you do anything with that carcass after you skin it,
You're not.
let me just snag some hairs. I could use those hairs for a gadget I'm working on.
Okay.
Okay. You weird old man.
What? He doesn't. I'm confused and interested.
There's one gadget I have yet to introduce.
That
so
you're working. Okay.
that I'm working on.
Okay.
All right. Congrats.
It's a hell of a catch.
What do I want to do with this? Get a big winter coat made out of this thing or something? That could be cool.
That's pretty cool. You probably sell the head for like a mount. To like
Yeah, I don't have anywhere.
sporting the lunch.
You could
Not yet.
you could use it
Wait
to
till you guys
update-
get your like Mysteries Inc. Wagon as you go around solving crimes in.
It's got a huge
that only the background ever moves, but the wagon just kind of goes up and down.
A couple of us will just sit in the back eating all the time while 3 people sit in the front.
I feel like
Who are the stoners?
I mean Grimes, but who's the other
It's
stoner?
definitely Freddy.
It's true.
Fred,
Velma.
Velma. Which one of you is Daphne?
Well, I mean,
you're the prettiest, so maybe Grimes is Daphne and you two are the stoners in the back?
No, but Grimes has to be either Scooby or Shaggy because it's definitely Grimes and Spanky as like.
Oh yeah, Grimes is
Does that make me
Wouldn't I literally just be
You're
one of the
scrappy.
monsters
You
they're
really-
hunting?
no, the person in costume they're hunting.
That's right.
What was
Because
Mr. Jeffers all along?
Mr. Jeffress. Anyway, tangent resolved.
Meddling cowpokes. And your horse too.
Would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you meddling cowpokes and your donkey fully loaded with nitroglycerin.
Hey, Sammy, with this, we said that was Spanky.
So the next day comes. You have finished your hunting trip. You have worked some more on a gadget. You have stared endlessly into the abyss that is your eternity that lies before you.
And I did something similar.
You did some paperwork. This is very similar. You're cleaned up, shaved up, trimmed up, washed up, feeling like $1 million. You know it's at this. Actually, this is another week, so go ahead and also roll me a vigor roll to see if you can recover. You still have 2 wounds to recover.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, that brings up a question. All my wounds are gone.
Yes. When you come
That's
back
what I
to your full 4, so you recover 1. You recover 1. So you only have 1 left. Just a -1 on stuff now.
You're not getting headaches anywhere near as often as you were last week.
If people look closely,
I've
they
never
can
learned
kind
my
of still
lesson.
see the boats. They can still
I'm still
kind of see
going.
them, but you don't have the big old goose egg on your head anymore. And, like,
No.
you're thinking a little clearer. You still have a little bit of that, like, slow to recall information, but that was a pre-existing condition.
We don't cover pre-existing conditions.
Roasted.
I guess I'll drop the elk pelts off to get a
Okay,
cool
I'm just
winter
gonna.
coat made.
Okay.
And I guess I'm hanging out at the.
Does Grimes walk in and we all notice he's dressed up, clean shaven? I'm assuming.
If you, they say that that it's such a rare and interesting hide that if you let them basically segment off like what would be the scraps of your jacket, like 1/8 total of the pelt, for them to make smaller stuff out of to sell in their shop, they'll do the work for free.
Oh, cool.
Because they can make really good money off of like a white oak fur set of mittens and a white oak
One
fur
of a
set of
kind.
socks. Or
The
You monster.
by the forest god gauntlets.
Forest God gauntlets
Grand plus
with the
4
greater
defense.
curse debuff.
Makes you run like the wind and teleport through trees, but you are also hella cursed.
You do like just
Animals
walking
will
around.
attack you
feel
on
like
sight.
the disappointment of the nation rests on your shoulders in a like sort of loose.
You will slowly turn into the new forest god.
You have this
for your
sinking
sins.
feeling that you are the problem.
Feeling isn't the correct word. Realization is the correct word that all of you should be having. Anyways, when Grimes, you do notice Grimes dressed and looking nicer than you've seen him since the last day.
I'm telling you, it's a lady.
It is a lady.
Grimes only gets cleaned up for a lady. He doesn't even get cleaned up to go to church.
He doesn't even go to church.
Yeah, he doesn't. Unless he's forced to. Well, I'm just gonna say this now. Wherever he's going, somebody might want to tag along just in case he dies again.
I don't really want to sit in on another one of Grimes' dates.
I did the last one.
I'm still recovering from the last one.
You know what? Professor Bogus will kindly volunteer to make sure Grimes doesn't
Grimes
kill
does
himself.
I like how you guys are having this conversation on the side, like whispering, and I'm over
No.
here just like.
You're sitting there near like,
No, you're doing that? We're not whispering. This is a normal conversation.
you're just having this conversation while
And I'm
you're
just-
flexing in a mirror and making smoochy faces.
I'm as skinny in this character as I am now. I'm like, and I have no muscle left.
I agree. Grimes tends to get himself in trouble. However, I don't really want to follow him through another date.
Sounds like the professor is already.
I'll volunteer. I'll make sure he doesn't die.
There you go.
It'll give me a chance if something goes wrong to test out my new gadget.
A test subject again?
You ain't the test subject, don't you worry.
Your date might
Right
be
now.
Oh,
She did tell you that's about midday that they're meeting. And you
okay.
have the address.
All right. What time is it?
It's in the morning.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, a
you
couple
got a
hours.
little bit. Yeah, a couple hours if you have anything else you want to do before you go.
Grimes downs 3 shots of whiskey.
I was thinking about that.
3 shots just enough to loosen up a little bit.
Well, he's drunk all the time,
He is.
so
I'm gonna go
3
down
shots.
to the bar.
That's a secret. He's never not drunk.
I'm gonna go down to the bar and hang out until my date.
Is Professor going along?
Yeah, I'll stick with Grimes just
Okay.
until whatever.
I started
nonsense
noticing, I'm like, Professor, you want to go down to the bar with me? You wanna shoot some-"
Yeah, I'll have a drink. I mean, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
it's 10 in the morning.
What?
Let's go.
I'm just like, this is my new drink buddy. Let's go, partner. Let's go.
What are the rest of you guys doing?
Gosh. I don't know. I keep trying to rustle up where my wife lives.
You sent her a letter.
I did.
Kansas,
In
apparently.
Kansas, somewhere in Kansas.
Yeah.
And you know, like, you could with some help, track down where the address you sent, like the post office you sent it to in Kansas. Probably.
Yeah, where's the ranger's office in Kansas?
Yeah. Tehachapi, I don't know.
I mean, look, as a totally legitimate ranger, you have no freaking clue where the Texas Ranger headquarters is in Kansas.
Well,
you've never been there.
Well, now I'm really doubting what exactly you are on account of how it's apparently.
That's why I say
where you
Tehachapi. That might not be true. But
I'm just like,
Tehachapi? Is that a Pokemon? That's what
Isn't
Pokemon
Tehachapi
turns
in
into.
California?
no, it's in Kansas, isn't it?
There's
You
a
thinking of Topeka?
Thank you.
Topekapi.
There's a Tehachapi in California that was next to Bakersfield.
Tomahawk, California.
Yeah.
All I learned driving through Kansas recently is that apparently El Dorado, the Garden of Eden, and one of the 7 lost cities are all in Kansas.
No one wants to live there, so I just found them.
Nobody ever noticed because it's Kansas.
They're buried under corn and sorrow. Sorry if you live in Kansas.
First one then.
Not because
First one.
I've insulted Kansas, but because you live in Kansas. There goes our 2 Kansas viewers.
Hey,
Just kidding, they can't watch this, they probably don't have internet.
They don't have fast internet.
I was going to make a
I
joke
tell
about
you-
those being the 2 people in Kansas who have internet.
I tell you the truth, man. My grandparents' house in Kansas, like remote town, the best internet I've ever had.
Because they're the only people in Kansas.
Do they have
with
5G?
internet.
I think they got 5G.
They got 5G?
They
We all
got
got
fiber optic.
5G.
It's
In a
better than
brain
Junction.
center.
It's better than
Anyway,
Anyway, bringing it back.
those of you who aren't going to grab a drink, what's your day going to consist of, or at least your morning?
Oh, I don't know. Mayor said he'd get back to
Thursday.
us at some point at work.
Not Sunday.
You can't go to church.
I've already been hunting.
Yeah, I don't know that yet.
I doubt your boss will give us any more work. He wants you to stop working.
He does. I've got to lay low. I'm just laying low. I don't know what else I can. I don't have hobbies.
Obviously.
I don't necessarily feel like it's a great
So
idea
you
for me
don't
to be out and about
want to go drinking with us?
all that much either, so I should probably lay low too.
And it's not a great idea for you to be out and about. Are all 3 of you guys just sitting around playing cards?
I guess we'll play some cards. Play some spades. Some old maid.
Poker.
Poker.
Are you putting anything on the line?
If everybody else says no, then I guess
Jeffers.
Jeffers don't believe it yet.
This is Matthew. Okay, yep, I'll be right out.
Technical difficulty, but not actually.
I don't know why
Pizza
Johnson just ran off.
technical pizza delivery.
Technically, the pizza just showed up.
What's good? That means we can cut out that whole Kansas tangent.
I want them to know.
They should know.
They need to know what I think of it and of them.
I mean, I do have roots in Kansas myself.
But the other thing that
I
happened
don't go very deep. Just corn out there, nothing else.
when we were driving the
I have roots in Kansas, but they got harshed.
they all
Got fed to some animals.
they all dried up and blew away when the Dust Bowl happened. What?
I was just gonna say, so how about the weather or something stupid like that?
So okay. I don't remember what I was gonna say. So.
Let's just set the pizza down for now, and then we'll finish this episode and then eat between.
You got it.
Technical difficulties.
Technical pizza
Thing I
difficulties.
wrote down. Yeah, it's good. It is going on.
We're getting good use out of most of it.
Alright, I assume I'm still in frame. That's all I'm doing.
Everything.
Pizza King.
I'm not in frame.
How long has my face been out?
Has mine given any alert or anything about like turn off? Your camera sucks. Nothing. This is Andreas.
Mine is.
Not even mine.
Your camera sucks.
All right.
It's
So-
water.
And we're back. It's almost like we never left. So, 2 of you went going to the bar. Doesn't matter which one you go to. One you've maybe been to before, maybe not. But you're going and doing some drinking. We'll just, for the sake of brevity, you guys can get some drinks, have some drinks. But what are you all talking about there?
Well, I'm gonna ask Graham's obvious question. What the hell am I about to be dragged into because I'm making sure you don't die?
Cult shit.
What do you mean, Professor?
Well, I'm just saying, last time you got dolled up like this, you took a meat hammer to the face.
Oh, you know it. Well, you must know I am meeting somebody.
I had a feeling that was the case.
But we're just going, and she said something about church at, I don't know, some friend's house or something, but
Church. At a house. Was it?
I don't know. I don't judge. I don't know what they're doing.
God, I'm getting dragged to a church at a house.
Professor, I don't know. There might be some more ladies there. I'm going because there's a...
The only lady I need in my life is science.
Professor, what if I told you there was more than just science?
I'd say you crazy. Then you have a concussion that's getting worse.
What if I told you there was more than just boobies? There was a whole array of women out there waiting for you, Professor.
Professor is just gonna stare at Grimes and just not say a word and just drink his whiskey. Just be like, let's just sit in silence for a while.
Big boobies. There's a whole woman around.
Yeah, that's how anatomy works.
It's just a part of a whole. It's crazy.
I think I'm onto something here.
You know, I was talking to the
Feminist.
I was talking to these pair of titties, and then I realized
there's a whole woman.
there's a whole woman there.
Oh my
It's just
God.
not a pair of titties.
Grimes, this is definitely painting a picture on how you find your lady friend.
And let me tell you something, Professor. You could follow in my footsteps.
I'd rather not.
I think you would be a way happier man.
Very unlikely.
Well, what are you gonna do? Marry science?
Yeah, I currently am. Married to science.
You crazy son of a bitch. I'm gonna buy this crazy son of a bitch another drink. I'm already drunk.
You got it. Do you partake?
I mean, it's given to me. Like, he's not gonna say no, but he's not gonna just down it. He's gonna, like, sip it and enjoy it. He's gonna savor the flavor.
What I'd like you to do for me, Professor, you've already accepted your fate, Grimes. What I'd like you to do, Professor, is roll me a vigor.
I've already accepted my fate.
Oh shit. I'm gonna spend a Benny.
I think it's better if you don't.
Nope, I'm spending a Benny. I ain't about to deal with this.
Oh, so violent.
See, I was gonna pantomime to Erickson flicking
Oh.
one of the rubber chickens at it.
Oh, that would have been
That would have
good.
been a good time.
Let's try this again. Okay, 6 explodes. This is much better now.
Oh?
7.
Okay. You're buzzing a little bit, but you're not drunk. You're drunk.
Have a Red Dead Redemption 2 moment. Germs.
I think it would have been hilarious if both of you showed up a small group smashed. But one of you buzzed and the other one smashed will be just as funny. So
One of us has to be coherent in case we get sacrificed to some deity.
you guys will go. I assume both arrive at this this address. It seems like it's just a kind of normal house, middle of town. And as you like walk up to it, you can hear kind of like faintly muffled singing coming from inside.
Oh, Satan.
That's our guy. Satan, he's our guy. We like to kill and we like to lie.
No, that's more like.
They got cheerleaders in there.
Satan, he's our guy. If he can't do it, well, we're all gonna die.
And as you knock on it, the door is answered by none other than your Bonnie Lass.
Oh.
She says, "Oh, you made it!" And as the door opens, you can hear behind some people like just kind of quietly singing to each other about something about like All going up to the mountain top, to the mountain top, to the mountain top. They're singing about mountaintops and praising on them.
Professor Grimes is really regretting his decision right now. Professor Bogus.
Hope they're not heading up into the mountains to worship the forest god.
We got him
That
disappointed.
you killed.
She says, "Come on in. It's just about to get started." And she's kind of walking. She starts clapping her hands and singing along. And she comes in. It's not. You're drunk and you're vibing. It's just-
Professor Bogus is just kind of standing in a corner, trying not to be noticed. Just like he's got his head in his hands, like I can't believe.
You don't know this song, Grimes?
Why is it
But
always called
but you can pretty easily sing along. It's a lot of the same thing. It's like they sing a line and then repeat the second half of that line 3 or 4 times, and then they sing the next line. You can at least repeat the second part.
Going to the mountain.
It's just a song about like going up, praising on the mountain, and being with the Lord. That's what the song's all about. Thank you all for joining us. And you can see there's this he's one of those like guys you can tell is older than he looks. He's got like clean shaven and very baby faced. Like he has some like wrinkles and stuff set into where he's older, but he just has like a very a boyish face. And he just has like this short talk about, today's a special day for us here. For those of you who are just joining us for the first time, today's the day that we're going to go up on our annual retreat. We're going to be going up onto the mountaintop, just as we were singing about, and we are going to praise the Lord.
20 of us go up. How many come back down?
Depends on how angry the sky god is that day.
He's probably gonna be very angry. He just saw his forest god get lit up.
It says that I have my friend coming around with a couple carts for us to ride in, and for those of you, I hope you have the day open that joined us for this evening, because it's going to be a worthwhile adventure, I assure you.
It's us sitting around playing cards. You don't think we should have followed him, do you? I don't know. I just got a
My
bad
plan
feeling.
is to get little Missy in the woods by myself.
I don't feel like they're the quietest couple of folks. I feel like, I would assume that if something went wrong, we'd hear the commotion.
I guess that's fair.
I mean,
Fold.
at least anywhere in town, right?
Yeah. Where are they gonna go on now?
It's cutting back too. Walking in a guy who looks similarly very like he's got like a very bright smile, very youthful look to him, but he's got kind of longer hair and a set of mutton chops.
It's the youth master.
He wears a trendy hat and a vest, no jacket, just a vest. And he is holding an acoustic guitar for no good reason as he walks in.
The moment he walks in, Professor just goes, "Oh my god."
I don't know what the mutton chops. It could be a Branch Davidians. Is that the thing from Waco?
He says, "Hello, Harmony's Gate Church. Are y'all ready for our retreat?"
Can I roll like something like? Would I have heard of this?
You can roll me. Is there a religion
There's a rule, I believe
or
so.
something like that?
There's a cult.
Theology.
There's a cult.
I have an academics. Can I roll an academics? See if there was something.
There's common knowledge. There's a cult.
It depends on what you're trying to glean. If you've heard of this church specifically, or like this denomination.
I just want to know if I know of the church. I don't care. Like
Specifically the name Harmony's Gate Church.
Yes.
We'll call it common knowledge then.
Common knowledge.
Yeah.
So,
It's definitely not academic, but that's not necessarily like an occult thing.
I mean,
it'll still be a minus.
I give you credit for
because I have
such a culty name.
What do you mean?
I have a D6 in academics,
similar to
but I
an
don't.
I didn't know how to get myself into this bullshit.
How did I put you two in prison after I hired someone to save you in a different campaign?
It's a 3.
You're predictable.
He makes you do it
Oh.
A
yourself.
3? You've never heard of it. Sounds like a very weird churching thing. Harmony's Gate.
I mean, the likelihood of me ever running
It's
into it.
even
is,
got the first
Yeah, it's so close.
What's next? They're all gonna commit.
The second you said the name, I was like, oh my god, I know everything about the cult that you were talking about.
We're going up to the sky.
They're gonna kill themselves
They
to try
have
and
a
get on
certain
a
type of
comet
shoe
that's
that
going
they are-
across.
associated with, a certain type of shoe that they are associated
Well,
with.
as this guy walks in, he says, "Hello, Harmony Gate Church. Who's ready for the retreat? Let's go." We don't have to stop singing just because we're riding. And he starts playing the acoustic guitar he's carrying for no reason. And let's all go to the mountaintop, to the mountaintop, to the mountaintop. Let's all go to the mountaintop and be with the Lord. Oh no! Guys start loading up onto these carts and riding.
I'm just having the immediate thought. I say to myself,
"Oh, of course you can sit next to her."
Can I hold, hold her hand and whisper in her ear cute little flirty things?
Yeah, you can definitely she's gonna hold your hand in a very
yeah,
not
loving
like
sort of
not
way,
like
not like
LinkedIn,
a
but
like a kind of. I'm
take
so
it.
happy you're able to come with us on the retreat.
I'll take it.
And you can notice something. Actually, you roll me a notice at it's going to be a total of -3 because of your inebriation and your injury. Go ahead and roll me a notice.
You think there's something wrong with this whiskey? I got a weird feeling all of a sudden.
I know. I something in the pit of my stomach. I tell you.
Yeah.
Four explodes.
Oh, there's a chance.
We should switch to drinking.
Four explodes. 4 explodes.
12.
Oh, we're...
It exploded.
12.
15.
-3, so it'll be
12.
yeah. Something you notice is there's not a whole lot. You're very transfixed on this one, but you're always looking around for the next woman. There's not a whole lot of women here. She's the only one. Also, something else you do notice is that, while you're having this, she's holding your hand talking, there's quite a few other guys on this wagon that are looking at you pretty jealously. That you can tell that there's only one woman here and she's choosing to talk to you, and all these guys are like, man, I want to talk to her.
Are they splashing a little bit of May Queen kind of stuff here? Okay.
And you guys, there's not a whole lot of variation in the song, but a couple hours ride up out of town, you go to what's kind of a secluded hill more than exactly a mountain. You're not going a long journey up to a true mountaintop, but it's got this very nice view. And you can see up there that there is a wooden cross that somebody's kind of staked into the ground, and some logs that have been set up for chairs. And you're like, all right, everybody, let's go ahead and take a seat here, and we're gonna have a quick talk, have a moment to be with the Lord, and then we'll have our celebration.
We're gonna go to the mountaintop to be with the Lord is such a.
The moment we arrive, Professor Bogus just kind of waiting back on the wagon, lets everybody get out, and he just puts his head in his hands, grabs his small fingers, whatever your name is. This better be worth it.
When are you getting out of this?
He had to listen to this for 3 hours.
And Professor Bogus is not religious in the slightest. He has made several comments on how how it's a crock of shit.
Yeah, it's a crock of shit. You decided to follow me, and you don't like titties. So why are you here?
Because the last time we left you alone, well, kind of, you ended up with a concussion and almost dead.
I guess you do like me. That's very nice.
Well, I mean, I can't lose a test subject. The other 3 won't let me do anything.
A fair point. The guy's gonna give.
There's something wrong with the whiskey that they're serving at this place. It is.
Hell of a lemonade, sir.
I'll have a beer. Maybe that'll be better.
The guy who kind of the baby-faced guy who gave the first talk, he does a brief talk about how sometimes you just have to get away from the hustle and bustle of the city to really be in touch with the Lord.
Hustle and bustle of the city. We were in a relatively small town.
Where we're at here, you can just really feel the Lord swirling all around you in the breeze. And all sorts of talk like that. He says, now if y'all would like, before we take some time to celebrate, we're going to do a quick communion. If you'd like to all come up here, and he has a water skin. He's like, oh, I've got some small cups here. We'll fill y'all up. Wait till the end. We'll all take communion together. And these people are going up, and he's tearing off pieces of bread and filling up little cups with wine for everybody.
I grab Grimes. Do not, I repeat, do not drink that wine. There's something wrong here.
It's free wine.
Grimes, I will buy you a bottle of whiskey. Do not drink the wine.
You promise?
Yes.
Okay.
So you're not going up.
Oh,
are you going up and grabbing the stuff?
No, not at all.
No, he bought me a free bottle of whiskey.
Are you going up and grabbing the stuff? though?
You can go up and grab it. I just told him not to drink it.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab it, but I'm gonna.
Okay. Before they, like everyone else started to line up, I assume Professor's kind of staying back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Professor is staying.
Except they waited a lot longer to do that.
So you are going to kind of wait back. Grimes is going up to do communion, or at least to grab it. And
I'm Catholic.
Sideburns, Mutton Chops is going to walk up to you, and he's like, "Come on, friend. There's plenty to go around for everybody."
I'll pass. Okay, I'm not the celebrating type. If you know what I mean.
Well, suit yourself then, I guess, old timer. So that's fair enough.
No one will believe this crazy old fart anyway when he comes down off the mountain.
You
He's
mean to say it gives you
"Oh,
indigestion? Everyone will believe that.
I just watched like 100 people kill themselves on a mountain. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, old man.
You don't want to go to heaven? That's what
No, Professor Bogus wouldn't cry, but he'd just be like, yeah, I just watched 100 people kill themselves on a mountain. It was the craziest shit I've ever seen.
So everyone goes back, and they're sitting at the thank you on the logs, and the guy up at the front he raises up the cup of bread, and he does like this talk about how this is the body of the Lord, take a bite of it. This is the blood of the Lord, everyone take a drink. And you pretend to drink but don't actually drink it. Everyone else seems to legitimately take a drink. The guy up front just raises it and then like watches as everyone takes a drink and waits a second, and you can see all the people around you start grabbing at their throats and falling over. And Professor, you feel something kind of press against the back of against your back, and hear the clicking of a hammer of a revolver, and you hear, "Nothing funny, old timer."
Well.
We'll take what's in your pockets and let you leave with your life. And the lady you can see kind of stands up, and you see she starts to like you notice people starting to like kind of fall over and stuff.
Yeah.
Are you still? What are you doing?
I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, what do I do? But do I see my lady friend?
You do. If you look around for her, you can see her.
Is she choking the shit out of me?
You glance over and you see her. She's all right. She stands up and immediately starts rifling through the pockets of the guy sitting next to her.
I knew I loved her.
Grimes just casually quick draws and kills the other two guys, and it's like, come on, baby, let's get out of here.
And you can see like the guy up at the front kind of like splashes the wine out like, they've been taken by the spirit of the. Hey, what the? And you see him like reaching into his shirt pocket, and he pulls out a gun. He said, "Nothing but." Okay, let's roll it, or let's pull it.
Okay,
I should say.
so, well, okay. Before you pull, well, I guess I'm kind of stuck where I'm
you're
at.
standing there with a gun.
Well, because he doesn't have his hands up. He's just kind of got his hands on his jacket, like, well, this is the predicament we're in.
I'm telling you.
I'm definitely.
I'm marrying that woman.
I'm taking her. She's mine.
The old honey trap. See, the sad thing is, this would have totally worked. And I think it has worked in the past.
Oh, yeah.
The only reason why I did not drink that is because he told me I'd have a whole bottle of whiskey. So
It's funny to me how when the moment of the like nothing funny, we'll take what's in your pockets and we're leaving. It's like, oh, they're just robbers. Okay, whatever. It's like, yeah, they just poisoned a bunch of people.
oh, hey.
Ace is first.
Okay.
So you feel this guy? He has his gun pressed up against your back.
Well, it's at this point I kind of sneakily like reach into my jacket, like not to pull out a gun, but for this, it's kind of not really a gadget, but it's part of the science. Pull out a little vial of liquid.
Okay.
Well, it looks clear, but there's kind of like a gas or a cloud in there.
Okay.
And this is the stun action.
Okay.
I'm trying to. So what I'll do is I'll slam it on the ground.
Chloroforming?
Yeah, pretty much.
You can take it out, drip it on your handkerchief, and slap him in the face with it.
Well, it's like
Well,
he can flavor it after he wants.
it's not really a liquid, it's more of a gas, kind of. But once I'm gonna throw it on the ground to kind of release it, and hopefully it'll knock him out.
So it's a.
hold your
how does
breath.
how does that stun work?
It's a mad science roll.
It is a mad science roll. Let me pull it up. I had it pulled up here.
I sent you the image of the malfunctions table,
There it is.
right? I believe I can also just pull it up.
I reckon you have. Whether I see
Stun shocks those within a medium burst template with concussive force, sound, magical energy, or the like. That's how this reads. The arcane individual may never use this on themselves, but it works as like a tonic or kind of deal like that. So that's how it would work.
All right.
Oh yeah, I was about to say. I was like,
looks
was
like
that
a
a
one.
1? No, no.
It's a 7. So that's no raise, but it's successful. So what does the success do on this?
I'm assuming it just shocks him and kind of just.
I mean, what does the thing say that it does? Because it's that first template. I'm assuming either he has to make. Like a bigger roll?
Are they stunned or?
I don't know. You can read it. I have it pulled up. Maybe you can make more sense.
Where's the?
It's bottom left. Or maybe I gotta go up.
Game character scores a success. Targets from their effect must make a vigor roll or be shaken. With a raise, victims make a vigor roll at -2.
Okay, so it's just a vigor roll, but he has to make that or be shaken by this effect.
I use that to great effect.
Oh
That was my
that's right.
flashbangs.
Oh well, because I read that wrong. It would be more like a flashbang. That's what it would be.
I mean, it could be a gas too that
Yeah,
just
you
like
could call it
disorients
gas.
him.
Yeah,
Whatever
yeah.
makes sense for how you're.
well, I've already said it's a gas. We'll just leave it as a gas.
Okay. Where is this guy's?
Yeah, like it's like a fluid, but then when it hits the
When oxygen hits it,
And it's what was it? A vigor roll. He's unfortunately successful, so he kind of, but he is still okay. And with that, are you moving at all?
I mean, I'll turn around to face it
Okay,
just
kind
to
of
see.
and it gives you a second where like his gun isn't pressed against you, where he's like wiping at his face as this stuff is in there, but you see he comes to and he doesn't.
Can I?
kick him.
Would it also be an action if I like kind of just like have my hand on one of my guns?
Yeah.
Is it a free action to draw a gun? Is it?
I don't want to draw it. I just want to have my hand on
I think
it.
you
so-
have to spend an action to like draw out, or not an action. The other, like it is an action, and you no, that's Star Wars. I think it is technically an action to draw out a gun.
Might be right.
For the sake of this,
For the sake of this, I won't
It's a
draw it. I'll
gadget.
just have my hand on it, so that way next round.
And for you, it's like you're just using a power. It's just flavored as a gadget, so
Yeah.
it's not really drawing out the gadget as like an action. So for the sake of that, we'll be good. Grimes. You're not next. They are. This guy who's looking at
get
you,
shot.
you reach for the gun, and this guy already had his out, so he is going to take a shot at you.
You red bastard.
I need a 4 to hit. He is also not very fancy, but he's got that. He misses. He
Yeah.
sees you going, he like clicks and he shoots the gun, and it goes wide. It seems like these guys aren't necessarily that great of shots.
That's right, they're
That's
poisoning
probably
people.
why they're
Poisoning
poisoning
people.
people to rob them. And your lady friend, you can see kind of like sees what's going on and
It's a deck.
ducks down behind one of these dead bodies and logs. And the guy that's across from you is also going to be trying to take a shot.
Oh, he hits. I'm screwed.
He's right up next to you, so I think it's going to be against your parry, not your not
I'm
the
screwed.
4. What's your parry?
A 2.
2. So he will hit, but no raise, and it'll be this. What's your toughness?
4.
4. So he just shakes you.
Okay.
It's 7, so it's not with a raise, so you're shaken. So he draws this guy, and he kind of turns and he shoots, and it goes just wide, but it like makes it. Your bad ears get rung. And you're like, it's kind of just stunned.
I'm just
for a
kinda-
second.
How the hell does this happen?
And then it'll be Grimes.
Bang.
Bang, bang, tickety bang. I'm gonna try
Think
to
to
kill this
myself,
motherfucker.
well, the guys ain't gonna believe this.
Shooting.
You hear.
3.
So it'll be that guy and that guy. 8 explodes.
Are you firing with both guns?
Just one.
Just one? Okay.
Just a quick draw.
That's it.
10 total.
10 will hit with just one raise. So your damage plus an additional d6.
So those can. So do the one that can explode first. So +4.
6 explodes.
That's 15. 16, 17. Do you have a +1 on yours, or is it just 2?
It's just 2d6.
Okay, 17 is definitely enough to kill this guy. So
He misses, you don't.
He's gonna shoot. He kind of like draws it quickly and shoots wide, and use like quick draw, snap shot, and it hits him like clean through the heart, and he just grabs his chest, dropping his gun, and falls over dead.
Grimes is an actual outlaw, like who has robbed and shot people for years.
We all forget that because of how Grimes is. But.
I'm a dingus for sure. But when it comes to shooting, absolutely. Huh?
Fiver. Oh, going from the middle of the deck. An 8.
Alright, our first with a 10. This guy noticing Grimes pop up and shoot, and seeing this professor with seemingly unarmed, grabbing his ears and freaking out, is going to take a shot at you, Grimes,
Okay.
which will hit with no raises.
Oh.
What's your toughness?
4.
4. Yeah.
You are also shaken, but not injured.
Oh,
You
God.
get 6 damage, so he shoots and it goes wide on you, but is enough to shake you.
Okay.
So, you've got spirit. Yes, you do. You've got spirit. How about you?
I don't know.
Hi.
Go ahead and
I got good
roll
spirits.
to be unshaken.
That's a Jerry.
That's Jerry first, so I'll go ahead and roll your check to see if you can
Yeah, we got
unshake.
We're twins.
We got a
Three.
flush over it.
3, so you're still shaken, you don't get your turn.
Okay.
And you, same thing.
So-
Spirit.
Spirit, so you have a D. Same thing. So D8, D6. You've
A
got
lot
spirit.
of D8s in spirit.
6.
So you are unshaken, but you don't get to act.
Okay, so I'm like.
So it'll be a new round, but you do unshake yourself.
New
check
round.
that.
4.
That's alright. You got a
That's what I had
chance.
as well.
7.
Haha.
Beats a 4. It's pretty hard to lose to 4.
Still drawing all
2.
the
Ace,
So you have another chance to be unshaken here.
Switching up the dice every now and then.
Gotta keep them on their toes.
Yeah, you do sometimes have to put dice in.
Oh, what? Oh,
One
snake
and
eyes.
one.
Snake eyes. You kind of grabbing at your ears, take a step back and trip over the log and fall flat on your back. And for the sake of this, it'll just be like you're still going to be shaking. You're just also going to be prone, and it'll be an action for you to like get yourself back up. And then it'll be you. You are unshaken. And moving
I'm gonna shoot the guy.
okay, you turn around and take aim.
You do have
fire.
2 pistols if you want to shoot.
I came to
We'll see.
make
Well, you
sure
have to
that
decide beforehand.
You have to
Well-
say if you've drawn the other and shooting as well.
Just one.
Okay.
Just one. Okay.
He doesn't need both. Even though he's ambidextrous and
I believe a
a dual
5 will
wielder.
probably hit.
5 just it hits, no raises, but
I
it
came
hits.
to make sure Grimes didn't die.
When Grimes actually gets to fight,
6.
that's pretty dang good. 6 will shake but not kill, and then he will try and unshake on his turn, which is a spirit. Oh, he's actually got solid spirit. 1. He is still shaking.
Still shaking. Alright, new round.
It'll be a new round.
After you.
6.
A C6.
6.
Ace.
Oh man, and he's shaking. Things are
Joker!
Jerry.
All right, Jerry.
Alright, let's try this again.
So
Yeah, +2.
you'll have +4, or it's +2.
Plus
The
2.
drop is
You
+2.
can also just spend a penny to be unshaken,
That's true.
but you have a really good chance of being unshaken with the Joker. But you also don't necessarily have a. You also might not get a turn necessarily.
Yeah.
It's a back and forth.
How many?
It's a 5.
5. So you're unshaken, but you don't get to act.
That's fine, as long as I'm unshaken. I
You're
don't care.
unshaken. So you're kind of like, and you finally kind of get your bell unrung, and you're looking straight up at the
I was
sky.
Where the hell? Where am I? Well,
And,
I'm assuming at this point the gadget's just now in my head because I kind of fell with it. So I'm just like, what the hell?
She's just rolling her shot. It's 10 total.
10 will hit with a raise, and this guy is shaken, so
He's probably not doing it, so
Not-
roll
not
that
going well
first.
for him.
That can't explode.
2.
2. Okay. And then that.
roll bad enough here. He could survive.
2, 4, 7. 7 total.
Because he's shaken, that'll do a wound, and these guys just have 1 to take.
Yeah.
So you turn, you shoot, and this guy shoot him, he falls over dead as well.
Yeah. Well, that was an ordeal, but we
Can I
made
see
it
the
out.
lady on the ground?
She kind of like leans up and sees the nature of things, and you can see that. And she kind of like looking and seeing that you're alive, and you reach in your hand out. She's like, Oh, thank God! He reaches up, said, they made me do it. They were threatening me with my life.
So at
How
this
much
point,
did you get?
Well, I ain't dug through their pockets all yet.
And I'm gonna start helping her get to the pockets.
Grimes is not a good person.
Professor Bogus sees this, just turns around and walks away.
Guys, there's so much money can be made right
I'm just. This is all.
She's like, 50-50 split?
It may be a little bit of some fun later.
She'll be like, we can definitely spend time together again.
Yeah, little lady, might I give you a word of advice? Just be better.
Don't listen to the professor now. I say,
Be better. How are we doing on this?
I say this.
A little bit of fun.
Be better.
It's one of the greatest outings someone has ever taken me out on.
Well, maybe you and I should go on more outings then.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
that
all
poor
these
boy's
people being
hopeless.
yeah, we poisoned everybody else, but we can just stick up these two, and then it's like a professional gunslinger, just like very casually kills people.
And I'm gonna share with her some of my stories and experiences
Maybe on the right back.
while we're romantically picking the dead pockets.
So all these individuals.
I just want it to be known, I am driving the carriage back to town.
Okay, you got it.
Do their hands meet inside?
There's a moment where they both reach for a pocket at the same time. Throughout doing this, going through everybody's pockets, he lets you take the cash and seems to be taking more of like the jewelry and stuff like that and
That's
off of
fair.
people. She says that she just knows somewhere she can sell it.
Yeah, of course.
But you get a total of $223
Yeah!
from this somewhere between 15 and 20 people that just drank the Kool-Aid and her two friends.
They're dumb enough to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have done it.
That's certainly a take.
Yeah, you would have. And he still owes you a bottle of whiskey.
You do.
Grimes is
Hang
making
on,
out like a
Professor
man.
Bogus, true.
As he is one.
Well, hang on. I like to think that Grimes is just gonna be in the back of the wagon. So what kind of whiskey you gave me, Professor? What?
What really though, on the ride back, it's this very romantic carriage ride. The professor riding the wagon
Yeah,
to
chauffeur,
you sitting in
yeah.
the back.
Chauffeur better get a good goddamn tip for this.
I'm definitely gonna be being very handsy.
Grimes, a true gentleman.
A true gentleman. He waits till the first crime's over before any canoodling commences.
So the first crime and everybody's dead.
And a romantic ride back, some smooching and whatnot in the back of the wagon that you're lucky you have bad hearing for.
I don't hear a thing.
And
His ears are still ringing.
you guys arrive back in Confluence City.
The heroes of the day.
We're a little richer.
I just
A few bullets shot.
Do we drop her off at her apartment or wherever she lives?
no. Professor Bogus pulls into the center of town and just walks away.
He gets off and walks away. And she says, now you go on with your friend. The address you have is mine. Feel free to stop by anytime.
Oh, I will.
I walk
for
in,
the-
see
Thank
all
you.
three of them playing cards.
So you guys sitting there playing cards, having your assortment of non-whiskey drinks.
Yeah, there's something wrong with whiskey this place. I'm telling you.
And you see, and the door swings open and the professor walks in.
Oh, we were getting
I'm
worried.
walking behind you.
Yeah,
All
secondly.
right. Well, I beeline it for the bar. Bottle of whiskey. Make that 2 bottles.
Because you're gonna need one for yourself.
Yeah.
And you guys see shortly after, you see Professor come in a huff and buy 2 bottles of whiskey, and trailing closely behind, a simply glowing crime.
How much are 2 bottles of whiskey?
For the sake of it, we'll say, are you getting fancy stuff? You skip.
I'm getting cheap stuff for Grimes, fancy stuff for myself.
It'll be a total of $6.
2 pair.
Well, Joker's wild, right?
I was joking.
Yeah.
So then I've got 2 pairs, kings and 2s.
Well, I got 2 pairs, kings and 10s.
You guys do it as these guys walk in.
Never played poker with a vampire.
With a what?
Oh, the professor's back.
And you can see Grimes walking with this big old smile on his face. And the professor grabbed 2 bottles of whiskey from
Hands
the bar.
one to Grimes.
Hand the chief an order.
Reckon we're glad you fellers ain't dead.
Well, what?
I met the perfect.
Needless to say, for their group, if you want to call it, just a bunch of heathens. Killed about every damn near person there. Tried to mug us. I fell, and Smallfingers over here took care of them.
Well, that's quite an adventure.
And met the
And
love of my life.
Unfortunately.
Out of curiosity, do you remember her name?
No, I don't.
I was one never said it.
I did. She introduced herself that night.
I did not know.
I'm excited for that to come up. So, oh, it's you, my love, sweetie.
I gave her a 75% chance of just skipping town immediately after this.
That's true.
I give it a 90.
I feel like they were playing Texas Hold'em with Joker and the guy. Makes it pretty fun.
I'm just having a good day.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great day. I got
Great day.
some money. I killed some people. I met the love of my life, which I don't know her name.
Oh, speaking of which, Youngin over there, you may want to send some rangers to go collect the bodies up on the hill.
I mean, are you sure about that? There's gonna be a lot of questions.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
I don't feel the need to explain that this fake cult, or whatever this was, killed a bunch of people, our wanted bounty, which I whisper that part.
This
Wanted bounty. Killed the last 2 guys, and then proceeded to rob the dead with another young lady. Yeah, it just ain't worth all the time. I have science I could be doing.
It's true. I'm just telling you, it's gonna be a lot of paperwork.
Well, then just don't worry about it. There'll be food for whatever for the vultures.
Drop off an anonymous letter.
There we go.
But they're still gonna ask questions around town. And I'm pretty sure people saw us walk into that building where they were. So I don't know. Just the vultures will have a good meal. Now, worst case scenario, some wanted posters, and we know where they are. Or some missing people.
some missing persons.
Yeah, we know where they are. So it's fine.
Well, another successful mystery solved. Gang.
Another ambush successfully walked into. Another trap sprung from within the trap.
I'm gonna spring this bear trap with that
Another-
stick. No.
Another deep fingers into some deep fingers.
What does that even mean? Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
You know what?
Professor Bogus opens his nice bottle of whiskey, downs half of it in one go, just like, what a day.
And the 2 of you now, very toasty, are feeling it hard. The rest of you might have a little buzz going, but you 2 are definitely both drunk.
I think we're having just a nice, relaxing day, waiting for the smoke to blow over, as it were.
Finally taking a vacation like you were supposed to.
See, there you go. Losing my shirt over here, I tell you.
Never played poker with a vampire.
With a what?
Never mind.
Yeah, I don't think that. I don't know. We're unfortunately just kind of laying low.
I'm going to bed.
Try attempting not to attract too much attention.
Just makes for a not very exciting thing to tell Erickson. He's like, we sit around and play Texas Hold'em.
No, that's all. Thank you guys. Roll.
We play Texas Hold'em. We play Texas Hold'em while the other 2 drink.
One drinking to forget, and one drinking out of. One is a celebratory, and the other is drowning sorrows.
Yeah.
Or at least disappointments.
That's how.
You guys have a fun evening of cards and drinking. Get a good night's sleep. Are you going back to the Rangers headquarters?
Yes,
for your
usually when I
sleeping?
sleep, yeah.
Arriving there is a missive from the governor waiting for you.
Well, there we go.
And, is saying like, we've tracked down some more information on our mutual friend and would like you to come back so that we can discuss this.
Discuss how to arrange for him a very nice
Birthday party.
Birthday party.
Arrange for the professor to blow a hole in his chest.
Does he say that he wants me to see me like tonight or tomorrow or?
It does says to come see you.
Okay, I'll go with the
That's
horse.
fine. Okay. Alright, just you go.
I figure.
I'll go.
I figure these guys will come with me.
Okay. Whole crowd goes there. Gates lets y'all in. You go into that same foyer. Governor's there. He says that I believe I've tracked him down and found a way to get some information to him at the very least. I was thinking an anonymous tip. Some recent sightings of an eye-patched lady in the quiet corner of town.
Fair enough.
Y'all can take it from there. Do you have a preference?
Do we have a way of doing this quietly?
Quiet isn't exactly our strong suit.
Yeah.
How
I'll
about
just
we,
keep
how about
my
we
ball.
anonymous tip him to the mountains? Nobody will hear us, and nobody can hear him scream.
I mean, you guys do know a secluded place.
We do.
Well, you could challenge him to a duel if you want to. Around here, those happen often enough.
I
The
don't
hammer
exactly like
the
my
hammer
chances against a trained bounty hunter.
The hammer of Alabama, Professor Bogus is calling you out.
Draws a lightning gun and shoots him.
Pulls out a lightning rod.
And then just holsters it. And walks away.
throws his gas grenade to stun him, and then
Takes you 5 shots to hit him, but he's not fighting back.
I mean, if we could get him up in a... I mean, we aren't talking about... Ostensibly what we're talking about here is ambushing an officer of the law.
I mean,
But if we can get him up into the mountains, then we might be able to just bushwhack him.
and back to the point.
Listen, we're doing this for you. I don't know here.
This is all for you, little lady. This is all for you.
Well, I was kind of hoping the governor could just pardon me or something.
That's not how this works.
Not the governor of Louisiana. He says.
Fair point.
But we are pardoned of the crime sentence. We have a blanket pardon.
As far as I know, he's not a agent of any law in this state. If he comes up here hunting a bounty and disappears, that's just the risk of the trade.
Yeah, so maybe the mountains might be better.
Yeah,
So that we don't cause a ruckus in town.
Yeah, say we'll give the coordinates of our last visit to the mountaintop, and we'll.
Are you having him go to?
Yeah.
Do you give him that specific place?
Yeah, because he's gonna see all the dead bodies, and then Ed's gonna be like, "These are all who tried to kill me."
No, I was planning on shooting him from 300 yards out.
Okay. Professor will be there. These are all the people that tried to kill me.
Then he'll be like, "Who are you?"
Bang! It just adds that confusion element.
Normally I wouldn't agree with killing an innocent man.
You could satiate that. You could satiate whatever problem's wrong with you.
His greed sure may run him into some trouble anyway, so.
Fair enough. It's
I
really
normally don't agree with killing unarmed men, but I'll choose to.
Doesn't he
Now.
have some
As it's convenient.
leather boots or
He's got crocodile skin boots or alligator boots.
Grimes with short fingers.
I'll shoot him just for his boots.
that is true. Grimes could just challenge him to a duel because he likes his boots and then gun him down. That's also a possibility.
Can we let that happen? I want to see this go down.
You gotta
The
persuade.
hammer of Alabama, I challenge you for your crocodile skin boots.
I'm just worried he's good and dangerous.
It's true.
Probably is.
We do have a better fashion in this camera.
Okay.
But all right, we might have to schedule our bushwhack, and that might be the.
What are you guys doing? What's the plan?
I mean, if we're gonna I won't stop somebody from calling them out. I don't think it's a great idea, but I won't stop anybody from doing it. I mean, heck, maybe old Jefferson could take it. But If we're gonna like bushwhack it, let's do it in the mountains and not in town.
Makes sense.
Let's do it.
Bushwhack
Try to steer
from it. He wants money, Jeffers.
I mean, has he seen the bounty on your head?
Don't give him a.
We won't give you it. We'll give you Grimes. Dude.
I know I'm kind of, you know,
Wanted.
and kind of a nuisance.
Well,
Did I?
No. It just has stopped automatically.
Okay. So yeah, I think we lure him up into the mountains. We'll give him the address, set it up.
Okay.
And some coordinates, and we'll set up a bushwhack.
All right. Well, we'll try and resolve that now. I think.
Yeah.
I think that'll be fairly quick. You give him this anonymous tip is given early in the morning on a day you guys have already ridden up there. And what's the setup gonna be?
I would like to find a spot to hide
Okay.
with decent lines of sight. What of this here carnage that I'm witnessing for the
I'm
first time?
since I'm a
Jesus, Grimes.
I didn't kill
to
all
be fair,
of them.
to be
I
fair,
killed 2.
to be fair, the little man here only killed 2 of them. He was almost among the bots.
Excuse me.
I've seen more muscle on a stick.
Excuse me.
Oh no! I just rolled for vindictiveness.
Okay.
Just like
oh, Jesus.
drama. I'm going to be leaned up on the cross. Just like leaned up against it, just watching the road.
I'm gonna
Basically being a distraction of like
I'm
basically
gonna-
he shows up and goes, I knew it.
I'm gonna sit. I'm gonna just like sit on the ground. I'm assuming there's like a little platform or something by the cross.
Those
It's a little
walls.
raised.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit on that, like in front of the ranger here.
Okay.
I'm just be polishing my bolt gadget, just
Alright.
getting ready.
This after a little bit of time you're a ways away.
Do stealth check, I assume.
You go ahead and stealth check. The other 2 of you, where are you guys at, sir?
Well, I reckon maybe I'll go out there and
13 on stealth.
Okay.
I guess meet him. And okay, out of character.
Sure.
Jeffers is gonna try as hard as he can for us not to kill this man.
No,
In character, so he's gonna try to.
You're gonna meet him on the road ahead of time.
I'll meet him on the road. Make sure he comes up here. Make sure everything's.
Alright.
in
Fair enough, Jeffers.
Jeffers, you do you.
What about
but
you?
If I get the chance,
I'm just standing around.
I'm
I don't
killing.
really give a shit.
All right, sounds good. You three are kind of standing around up there. You're a ways off, hidden away very well with a very big gun. And riding up comes this strange southern man in his very nice clothes, his very nice boots with a very nice gun on his hip. And he starts
Is it a
riding
big
up.
iron on his hip?
He's got a big. Yeah, it's in a way, yes. It's a long iron.
no.
He's ready to
It's
golf after this is done.
Long.
He just quick draws a golf club and
I see why they call him the hammer. And you see him riding up, and he kind of. How can I help you there, feller?
Well, Failer, I suppose there's been kind of a mess up top here. You might want to turn back.
If there's a mess, might just be my lady. I'm hunting a bounty at the moment, friend, and I wouldn't be surprised if she kicked up messes here just like she did back down south.
Well, doesn't look like that. This was done by just one lady.
Yeah, she's not just some lady neither.
Now, Failer, I strongly suggest you do not ride up that hill.
Kind of like eyes you for you. He squints one eye and the other one goes extra wide and he looks you up and down and he says, I don't suppose you happen to know any ladies walking around with eye patches, do you, friend?
I reckon if I did, you wouldn't want to know.
All I know is, friendly advice aside, I'm getting my mark. And if you're standing in the way, I'm gonna take you out in the process.
I reckon I'm standing in the way. Fella, I don't want you to get hurt.
He said, well, feller, let me tell you something. They call me the Bama of Alabama, and I ain't never worked construction a day in my life. And you can see, like, he was riding with both hands on the reins, and you can see one hand is definitely like slipped over the top, and it's kind of you know from your past, like he's got a hand that's looking fidgety, like it's getting ready to reach for a gun. He says, "I'm gonna give you one chance to ride on down that road and
Let him go. Let us find him.
not have this end in any more than one person's life."
Well, if you ain't gonna listen to me, fella, I reckon I'll let you go.
Good to see a reasonable man. And he's gonna kind of turn about the horse and like ride around you, and he's like got his eye on you as he goes. He doesn't seem to like follow. Like after he walks past you, he does turn his back to you. You can see kind of a tenseness in his shoulders, but he seems to be trusting, or either trusting in his senses or trusting in you to not shoot him in the back. But he starts riding up the road.
I'll just follow him up, I guess.
Okay. You have a little time, maybe a little distance, but you're riding up that way. And you guys see you rounding up into this bend. This guy walking, he kind of glances around.
Well, if ain't the Hammer of Alabama.
God, I hate that name.
He says, "Had a feeling you were mixed up in all this. So y'all must be the gang of this lady?
Not
You murder all these folk?
What?
You murder all
Not me, just
There was a
Place to
happy
go.
accident a couple days back.
It was a very happy accident.
Well, I suppose I'm going to be delivering justice to not just one sorry soul today. That being said, her reward's worth enough that I'd rather take it and leave. Where the hell is she?"
Well, that's for us to know and you to find out.
Are you firing on him?
Yeah.
You got the drop.
This is at a total of +3. Well, total of +7 because of the drop.
There you go.
10 explodes. So that is 15 plus 7 for a total of 23.
23 will hit with 4 raises.
Okay,
He's
so
going
I'll
way
do the
lawless.
so I'll do the 4 raises first.
It's all d6s, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
Raises,
yeah, you're right. The raises are d6.
Raises
It's
are-
not the damage dice.
Yeah.
We did
You did make that decision.
we did learn that.
Jace.
Fortunately, they can't explode because there's a 6 in there. So that's 11, 12, 14 extra damage
14 extra on top of your base stupid amount of damage.
on top of 2d10 plus 4
From the drop.
So another 14 for 18. So
18 plus 15?
14.
18 plus 14, so 29.
29.
If he is not dead, that is.
He's going to attempt to soak.
He's a
Well,
wild card.
he's a fancy enough man that he can do so. He's
Oh.
got that.
His pizzazz.
Okay. Okay. So he says this, and you go like,
Yeah, I get
and you hear from off in the distance, and this guy, it's enough force that it, like, he kind of over the top of the horse flips out of the saddle and tumbles to the ground. And there's kind of a moment where, like, the dust kind of settles and slows. And you see him kind of press a hand against the ground, and he like, he kind of, he's rubbing some of the dirt out of his face. He's gonna turn and look over at you, and I want us all to draw cards.
Yep, we're in combat there.
Let's do this.
You got a king.
Oof, ooh. Off the top.
Oh, what's the reason?
Alright.
Draw
So
quick.
you're still hungover, so. You were already packing up the lead.
Ace is first.
Ace is first. I'll draw my Colt Peacemaker and
Firing it.
fire in it.
Go for it.
So my shooting is a D6. Oof. I'm gonna spend a Benny on that.
Okay.
Okay, that's a 4.
4 hits at this range.
Okay. So then that's 2d6 damage. So that's 5 damage.
That does not get through his toughness.
All right.
So he's not shaken.
There we go.
And then he is going to draw out this, and you see as he like pulls it out, it's a very fancy looking like pearl gripped gun that's got a very long barrel on it for a revolver. And
What's the judge?
I don't think
It's either a cavalry model or buntline special.
he can't make the shot on the person he'd like to shoot, who just sent a big old hot piece of lead through his ass. So he's gonna shoot the guy who just shot him at the very least.
That's fair.
And that will be that amount. He's got this and this. It'll hit. No raises, just a hit. And what's your toughness?
6.
12. So he will hit you with a raise.
Okay.
So you're shaken and technically take a wound unless you soak it.
I'll try to soak it.
Okay.
That's a vigor.
Mm-hmm.
So vigor is a D8.
Is that just one Benny left then?
Yep, just one Benny left. Two and one go. It explodes.
You definitely soak
Yeah, soak it.
it. So you are shaken still, but you don't take the wound.
Gotcha. Acceptable.
And then whoever's after the king.
Mr. Jeffords here.
Okay.
You're riding up behind him. This guy's just got knocked off his horse, pulled himself up, drew out the gun, and shot at the ranger friend who it kind of hit through his jacket, but didn't seem to hit him.
I roll up and I say shame, and I shoot it.
Okay. Roll it.
Remind me.
You're shooting.
Shooting.
Oh, actually,
shooting's a D12.
D12 and because of the gun you're using, a D6 as well, or D8 as well instead of the D6. You get a special wild die because of the gun you got.
That's the sold his kidneys.
Is it enough damage? I can't remember. If you remember, I think that's enough damage.
And you say like, and you guys can tell like you can see he's kind of like got an eye going over. Like he heard you walking up behind him. It seems like he knew you were there. So you don't have to drop, but you do have that big roll, and you just gotta get a 4 to hit him. That's contact.
Good.
Sounds very good.
Damn it! Snake guy. You can.
Is that Snake Eyes?
Oh, you can't spend a
Can't
penny to
spend a
fix
penny.
Snake Eyes.
Snake eyes.
All right.
You pull the trigger and the literal devil comes out the barrel of the gun.
Go ahead and roll me a spirit without your wild die, just your spirit die,
Just the D8.
just the spirit die.
Just so the devil doesn't come and harass you.
That's a tree.
That's a 3. Go ahead and roll me another shooting roll.
Okay.
Ooh, a 12.
Good.
21. That's 21.
That's a 21. You kind of draw a bead and you're like, shame. And you feel as if like somebody like a la, what's that Patrick Swayze? Ghost, like reaches around and holds your hand and your gun just kind of angles off as you fire. And that next shooting roll is targeting Grimes. What's your, oh, that's a 4, so you said, what's the total? 21? 21, so that'll be a hit with
3 raises. There are 4 raises.
4
yeah, you're
raises.
Right. Oh, okay. Okay, that's that's your 4 raises, so just roll those, and then we'll roll the damage.
If you die, we're turning you in for the bounty.
I mean, you might as well.
I mean,
Okay, well, that's 12.
we're all doing the same
So then
thing.
just 2d6 and add the 12 to it.
2d6, I assume, plus
And-
1.
2d6 plus 1 and I was intending on using the smite.
You have to say it. You have to use it before you take the shot, so you don't have the smite going.
Oh, I don't.
That's like a spell, like thing that you cast before you fire.
Oh, I thought it.
Oh my god.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
In D&D, you can use it after you hit, but
Yeah.
you have to do it.
It's almost like I want this to happen.
You're like, wait, I get extra damage on it. Go ahead and roll that, and add 12 to it. Or just add 13 to it.
16.
What's your toughness?
4.
4, so that'll be enough for 3 wounds, unless you soak.
Alright. Spend a Benny.
I'm gonna spend
He's still at 1 wound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 3 wounds right,
We just
now.
killed him.
Spin the Benny.
Roll a big
Spend the penny. I like how I try to keep Grimes from dying, and Jeffers is about to kill him.
So you're gonna soak one of them. So you'll take 2 wounds.
Take 2
As you kind of guns go shame, and it's like,
Yeah,
just blasts
you
into
don't.
him.
Yeah, so you don't go down.
3 wounds.
Can he go down,
He
please?
was going to take 3.
He takes 2.
I'm gonna
So
act
slow.
like
So
I'm
he's
down.
he's back up to 3 wounds.
And I'm gonna be a real baby.
So
about
where's
this.
the where exactly did Jeffers shoot Grimes there?
Go ahead and roll me. What is it?
It's either do D12 or 2D6 depending on which chart you use.
Please.
Why
Please
is it
tell
not-
me he gets
still
shot in the dick.
So, okay, good. Roll D12. Shame blows his D12. D12. Actually, 2D6. 2D6.
2d6, okay.
Not that really makes a difference.
You better not blow my dick off.
9.
9, and then a D6. 2. You shoot him in the gut, and it breaks some ribs. Your agility die is reduced to die type.
Temporarily.
Temporarily.
Agility.
Poor Grimes, always injured. And who's next?
Yeah, it's the professor.
Professor, you're up.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna shoot him at him with my bolt gadget.
Okay.
That's cocked.
That's a 4.
Oh, is it?
Do you want to say it's cocked?
No, it's not. It's. I thought it was cocked in the corner.
4.
4 with the weird science is a success. So, does that hit, I guess?
Yeah. So it's.
And it's your damage?
Yep. There.
3d6.
This weird picture of me that's now replaced me here. This,
6
Can it be
explodes.
the picture of him as Spider-Man?
It will probably just be a picture taken
So-
from this.
Let's do 13.
13. He's gonna try and soak.
Don't choke it. Don't choke it.
He's got good spirit.
That's a 1 and a 2.
Ooh.
He does not soak it, and
Yeah,
your
yeah.
blast hits him. He kind of shoots him. You see him like he's kind of stepping forward with a limp with this big hole through the middle of him, and you blast him one more time. He falls over dead.
I told you I'd kill you.
And with that, I think that's what we're going to call this session. Sorry for the technical difficulty at the end there and my now still face. It's probably better than my moving one anyways. I guess we'll see y'all in the next one, and thanks for watching.